Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Rachel and I am knitting. Not right now, but most of the time. And I have been knitting. This is the first installment of what I am trying to have be a weekly podcast. And I know some people don't like it being called podcast, but that's what I'm calling it. I'm so sorry if that, lights your butt on fire. But anyway, this is the first installment of hopefully a weekly podcast where my goal is to keep track of the projects that I worked on during the week prior, the yarn that I got in, the other treats I got in, and things like that. So let's just get started. It's the first one, so it might be a little, bit of a bumpy ride, but I'll try to keep it as organized and together as possible. I have 2 notebooks of notes to discuss with you. In my planner, I have a list of the things that I want to talk about. And in my knitting journal, I have, the data to back it up. So I need to consolidate these things for the podcast, but, it's the first one, so I'm going to extend myself some grace. All right, so let's just get started. I am going to talk to you first about a project that I worked heavily on during this past week, and that is my Seaglass sweater. I've talked about this a lot, mostly on Instagram, not so much here on YouTube, just because I'm on Instagram every day. I'm posting on my stories every day, whereas YouTube is not as frequent. But here is my Seaglass sweater. This is the DK version of the Seaglass, designed by Woolen Pine Designs, and I'm knitting it up in various colorways from the Long Dog Yarn Princess Bride collection. So if you've heard this preamble about the Seaglass a million times by now, thank you for your long suffering and kindness for hearing it again. But basically, this Seaglass is worked up in all of the variegateds except one from Long Dog Yarn's Princess Bride collection. It's actually open now. You can order these colors and more right now, today, this moment. This video should go live Tuesday, February 13th. So assuming the collection hasn't sold out by then, you can go grab these colors. But I'm using Hello, My Name is Inigo Montoya for the collar, cuffs, and hem. So this is that green color. And then I'm using Cliffs of Insanity, which is this gray color, kind of as my main color, essentially. I'm using it on every row. If you're familiar with the Seaglass sweater, you'll know that it's 1x1 color work. And the idea behind this sweater is that it's a stash buster. You can hold fingering weight double, lace double, DK worsted. It's supposed to just really create this beautiful mosaic fabric that just pulls from whatever you have on hand. In 2022, when Brandy's Princess Bride collection at the time was being released, I saw all of these colors and I thought, yes, these will look amazing together in a Seaglass. And I'm so happy to say I was extremely right, because look how good this looks. But all that to say, I reached my goal for this sweater. My goal was to get to sleeve separation by the launch time of the Princess Bride collection. And I got to sleeve separation on Friday, February 9th. The Princess Bride collection launched Saturday, February 10th. So I met my goal. I'll put a picture up here of the yoke laid flat. Pro tip, if you want to take a flat lay photo of your yoke, don't wait till the row right before sleeve separation, because it's massive. Take your yoke shot. Take your pretty Instagram yoke shot when your yoke is like, 6 inches deep or something, not the whole thing. Now, this is not really an accurate representation of what it looks like because it's all bunched up, but I have the sleeves on stretchy cords, and I have the stretchy cords secured with a cable lock from Twice Sheared Sheep. This blue stretchy cord is a knit extension cord from Twice Sheared Sheep. This green one is just from a spool of silicone tubing from Amazon. They're basically the same product. So if you want to get a cheaper extension cord. You can find spools of them on Amazon. But if you want the convenience of having them pre-measured and cut out for you, you can get them from Twice Your Cheap and a few other places. I'll drop links for that in the video description. But the sleeve stitches are on stretchy cords. And then the body stitches are still on my needles. So it's really scrunched up. It's really, you know, this isn't what it actually looks like. It's gonna look much more beautiful. I'm hoping that in next week's podcast, I'll have more of the body done, a significant portion of the body done, and I'll be able to try it on for you. But right now it's just not there. I'm only one round past, or I'm on, what am I? I just finished the sleeve separation row, meaning that the sleeve stitches I cast on, or the underarm stitches, I should say, that I cast on when I was separating the sleeves, that's it. That's the only row that's there. So I prefer to have a few more rows to really secure these armhole stitches before I try on. I haven't tried this on yet. And I didn't swatch. I swatched with Treehouse yarn for a separate Seaglass, and I kind of just went off that information. This is different yarn, different base, still DK weight, but I mean, you get the idea. I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine. But there's always that anxiety in the back of your head when you are working on a project. So there's my progress on the Seaglass. I'm really, really happy with it. I'm really proud of myself for reaching my goal to get to sleeve separation before the Princess Bride collection went live. Because I just wanted to be able to take a finished yoke shot. Basically, that was the reason behind the goal. So there's my update on my Seaglass. I'm really, really enjoying it. This like might track with some of you and not others, but throughout the Seaglass, I am using, like on every row, I'm using a Norwegian knitting thimble, which is my go-to tool for color work knitting. It's basically a tension ring, and it helps your yarn not get tangled up in the two colors or the multiple colors you're using. And there's a way to do color dominance with the Norwegian knitting thimble. Basically, the contrast color I put in this loop of the thimble, and the dominant color I put in this loop. And so for every row, I'm keeping Cliffs of Insanity as the dominant color, and I'm keeping all the other colors as the contrast color. So that means for every row, Cliffs of Insanity is on this this hoop of the Norwegian knitting thimble, the one closest to the tip of my finger, and the contrast color is always going to be in the loop furthest away from the tip of my finger. And you know what? While we're here, why don't I just show you the floats? Float check. Yeah, I just really love how this pattern's turning out. I think this sweater would be equally beautiful inside out as it is front side out, but that's just not going to be how I wear it because, hello, obvious reasons. Like, this is going to be noticeable on the wrong side, whereas it's not going to be so noticeable on the right side, or the side that faces outward. So there's the update on the Seaglass. The next thing I want to update you on is my Lumme sweater by Sari Norlund. So let me grab this here. I have everything kind of gathered on the bed out of frame right here. Here's my Lumme. I unfortunately didn't meet the self-imposed deadline that I had. Like with the Seaglass, I really wanted to get the yoke of this sweater complete by Princess Bride launch, and that didn't happen. The reason for that is because I went to a sleepover at my grandma's house on Friday night, and I did bring the Lumme. We watched a Hallmark movie together, and I was knitting during the movie, and it was a wonderful time. And then disaster struck, and I ran out of my skein of never go against a Sicilian when death is on the line. It's this main color that I'm using. It's this beautiful dark purple, really, really pretty. But anyway, I ran out of my main color while I was at my grandma's, and I was so frenzied when I was packing up to go for the sleepover. I didn't think to pack an extra skein. So I had to put that project on hold. And as you can see, the yoke is not done. But the fact that it's not done in no way detracts from how beautiful it is. This is, like I said, never go against a Sicilian when death is on the line for the main color. And then the contrast color is called Is This a Kissing Book? And they work so beautifully together. I'm so happy that I picked these. I should tell you, these were gifted. I've mentioned it before, but just as a reminder, these were gifted to me by Brandy of Long Dog Yarn. And I'm really, really just loving it. I'll go into more detail on my experience knitting the Lumme, along with the Seaglass, of course, when the time comes. Typically, when I finish a project, I do an episode called FO Diaries, where I go over my process knitting it. Sometimes it takes longer for certain projects than others to get them going with the FO Diaries. For instance, I finished this Lento at the end of January, and I have yet to film an FO Diary. So that will be coming as well. But I'm going to keep working on the Lumme. I definitely want to finish the yoke this week. That's one of my goals. Another self-imposed deadline, an extension because I didn't meet the first self-imposed deadline. But yeah, like I said with the Seaglass Sweater, these colors are available now through Brandy's Long Dog Yarn Princess Bride update. So if you're looking at any of these two projects, the colors in them from the Seaglass or this Lumme, and you're like, I have to have them, head to the link in the description box and, you know, treat yourself, have some fun. So that's how far I got on the Lumme. I don't have too far to go left on the yoke, at least on the color work. I think I might have 15 more rows or so. I might be misremembering that. But another special thing about this project is I actually cast this on while driving through New Mexico on the way to Oregon. And that felt special to me because Brandy, Long Dog Yarn, is based out of New Mexico. So it just felt right. So I'm really liking this project and I am eager to get it done so I can wear it because look how pretty it is. Gorgeous. I don't know what it is about purple, but it just like, I have to have it. I crave it now. I don't know how it happened. I don't know how or why, but it is what it is and it's where we are. So we're just rolling with it. Okay, so I've updated you on the Seaglass. I've updated you on the Lumme. Now let me update you on the commission that I'm finishing this week. This is, can you guess what it is based on the project bag? It's a lamb stuffy. Cushy's back here in the corner. You can see her hanging out. I know usually Darby steals the show when I'm filming in Baton Rouge because she's in the background of the video on my knitting chair. But while we're in Oregon, she kind of lounges on the bed I sleep in, which is just here out of frame. So she's here in the room with us. You just can't see her. So you just have to trust me. Sorry. Okay, so here's the progress on the Tearoom lamb. I have the head complete. I'm going to continue working on this. The deadline for that is Wednesday, February 14th. The tricky thing about this project is I'm also filming the process of knitting it. Since this is a commission, it's the next installment of my series going over how long hand knit takes, therefore how long should hand knit cost, and kind of like walking through the process of pricing out handmade items. So in service of that, when I'm knitting on this, I don't really want to like be around other people. I don't want to be distracted. I want to give an accurate time of like how much this labor costs without unknowingly or accidentally adding in additional time that's not really devoted to the knitting of this. So I'm going to be working on that and finishing it up this week. It's the Tearoom Lambs pattern by Susan Hickson, and the body of the sheep will be white. As you can see, the snout is black, and like the hooves, the hand hooves and the feet hooves will be black as well. And then we have purple and pink for the clothing, for the scarf and the overalls. yeah, so that's going to be a really, really cute and sweet little stuffy for a sweet little baby girl on the way. So I'll be working on that. I don't really have anything thrilling to tell you about this project. I haven't hit roadblocks. I haven't had frustrations. I haven't had successes, simply because I just haven't had the opportunity to devote my full attention to it. So probably tomorrow will be the day that I knock out most of the work on knitting the lamb. Okay. Now, that's pretty much all the progress on different projects that I've made throughout the course of the last week. I suppose I could tell you about this project. This is a project that I keep in my Ireland bag that my husband DJ so sweetly got me at Christchurch Cathedral. The story is, I saw it on the first day of the Irish knitting tour at Christchurch Cathedral. My mom showed it to me, but we didn't have time to shop the gift shop because we were on to the next thing for a private shopping experience at This Is Knit, a local yarn store in Dublin. But you know, the thought of this bag haunted me because it was like 12 euros, and what a perfect little project bag. And at the time, I didn't even know there was an inner zipper pocket. So yeah, it haunted me. And then on the last day of the tour, I was going to a workshop in County Cavan, and DJ was staying behind in Dublin. So he went to Christchurch Cathedral and he got me my project bag, and he got one for my mom too. What a sweetie. Okay, so in the bag that my amazing DJ got me is this project that I work on when I'm in the car. This is basically my purse project. I keep this project bag in my purse. And it is the Riptide 1. I've made the Riptide 1 before, and I've done a finished object diary video on it. I'll link it up here at the top of the video so you can watch it if you so choose. But this is by JST Knitwear Designs, Jennifer Shiels Toland. And she's actually Irish, so how perfect is that? That, you know, I keep the project in my Ireland project bag. But, oh my gosh, focus, I'm getting so sidetracked. I keep this in my purse and I work on it when I'm out and about. If we're driving to go get groceries, or, you know, we're going to an event or a family function or whatever. This just lives in my purse. That way I never have to worry about remembering a project. It's just always there ready for me to go. The Riptide is a lace scarf. You also have the option to customize to make it a shawl, but this is a scarf, and I'm making it for my grandmother in a colorway from the Cabin collection, which is a collaboration I did in 2023 with Kat and Penny Strickland of CZM Yarn. And the Cabin collection is coming back, by the way, in 2024, so hold on to your butts. But whoop, knocking things over. This is from Cabin Yarn. This is the colorway Purple Underpants, which is inspired by the inner petals of the fuchsia flowers that live at the base of the stairs at the cabin. So special to me, so special to me. So of course my grandma needs a few items made in Cabin Yarn. She chose this purple. I'm also going to make her another scarf, a different pattern. I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to make her another scarf in the carpet colorway, which is this beautiful green. This whole cubby right here is Cabin Yarn. Yeah. So this is my Cabin Yarn cubby. This is my Treehouse Knits cubby. This is an assortment cubby. And this is also an assortment cubby. You can tell my color preferences. Yeah, purple. Purple is the color. But I'm also gonna make my grandma a scarf in carpet. And I'm planning and hoping and you know, clenching my butt in anticipation of going to the cabin very soon. And I really want to cast on my carpet sweater at the cabin. How special would that be? I have 2 sweater quantities of carpet, and you know, I'm itching to get that on my needles. So there's your update of a project you maybe didn't even know about, because I don't think I've ever mentioned it. It's just my purse project, and it'll get done when it gets done. I guess I should go out and about more. I should leave the house more often so I can make faster progress on my purse project. But that is a conversation for another day. Okay, so that's the update section. That's pretty much all I have to go over of what I was working on over this past week, the next thing that I should probably tell you about is acquisition. So what came in? That's what they call it, right? Acquisitions. So the section of the podcast where I tell you about the things that have come into my possession that might be of interest to you. So first, let's start with yarn. Let me turn around here to my Treehouse Knits cubby, and I'll show you the 5 skeins that arrived this weekend. Or they arrived, when do they arrive? Friday. Okay, so Lauren, this was gifted to me as a Treehouse affiliate. Lauren, just spoils me with yarn. So she sent me an assortment of the winter tonals. These went live yesterday, the day of filming, a few days ago by the time you're seeing this, but they went live on Saturday, February 10th at 12 p.m. Central. At the time of filming, there's still a good amount left. I don't know how much there will be by the time you see this. So it's worth a check if you're really, captivated by any of these colors or bases. But Lauren sent me, I almost said Yorin, like yarn Lauren. Lauren sent me 3 skeins of this colorway called First Frost. And this is on her new base, or one of her new bases, called Magnolia Brushed Merino. So this is a merino fluffy yarn with a nylon core, and it's 164 yards per 50 grams. It is so cushy and soft. Let me show you, here, let me put this down. Let me show you what the thickness looks like. So I've got my thumb behind one of the strands so you can kind of see how thick that base is. If you look closely, you maybe can tell the nylon core is fairly thin, and it's the brushing, it's that fluffiness that gives the base its thickness. So it's gonna bloom a lot, I imagine, and I'm really excited to work it up. I have 3 here, and I purchased an additional 2 when the colorways went live, because I'm thinking that this would be gorgeous as either a big rib sweater by Jessie Made or a winter crop by Jessie Made. So since I already had 3, I only needed to buy 2 more for my size. So that's my plan for these. Lauren also sent me a skein of First Frost on her new Sassafras Alpaca Sport. So this is 100% baby alpaca wool, and it's 291 yards per 100 grams. So this is a sport weight yarn. It is so soft, and I want to show you this. Look at this drape, okay? Compare this to this other skein, which I'll tell you about shortly. Like, the drape of alpaca, the drape is draping, okay? I'm not doing anything to hold this up. Okay, yeah. That's nuts, right? Yeah. So if you're looking for a really drapey base for a drapey garment, or like a nice drop shoulder, I'm imagining, with a good drape and just like feels so soft and airy, consider the Sassafras Alpaca Sport. It is really, really nice. And like I said, I don't know if this will still be available by the time you see it for the winter tonal collection, but it should be available for collections moving forward. So keep an eye on Treehouse Knits for these new bases. This skein, last but not least, I think this is also a new base. I think this is like a replacement base maybe for what used to be Spruce Sock. I might be remembering that wrong. But this is Bat Free Lair on Spruce Sock. And Bat Free Lair is this absolutely stunning, dark, deep, moody purple. And I'll compare it to Never Go Against a Sicilian When Death Is on the Line. So you can see they're both dark, beautiful purples, but this Long Dog Yarn one, it has a bit more red undertones, and I'd say Bat Free Lair is more blue. My lighting is not great, but they're not the same, but both beautiful purples. So anyway, getting ahead of myself, this Spruce Sock base is 90% extra fine merino, 10% nylon. And it would help if you could actually see what I'm trying to show you. And it's 437 yards per 100 grams. So also a very soft base, and it's like firm. Like the squish is quite bouncy. Whereas like with the alpaca, if you squish it, it just kind of sinks under your fingers. Whereas with this Spruce Sock, it really holds its shape. I don't know what that means, like how that translates to what this would knit up like versus what this would knit up like. Like obviously I know this is gonna be drapey, much more so than this, but I don't really know what the squish is indicative of, but it's sure fun to squish it. So that's a yarn acquisition that came in recently, and I'll tell you, I have another Treehouse Knits package in my parents' mailbox that I just haven't gone to get yet. It's locked in the mailbox. It's safe. It's protected from weather, but I just haven't gone to the mailbox to get it. And I can't go now because my parents are at church and they have the mail key with them. So, but I do have some yarn waiting for me there from the office collection that you'll just have to be patient and wait to see in next week's podcast. But let me tell you, I'm really excited to see it, to get it. Lauren posted a hat that she was thinking of making with a few colorways on her stories during the office collection, like hype up days leading to launch. And I was like, yeah, I obviously need to do that immediately. So I ordered the colors to match that with my affiliate discount, and yeah, thrilled to go get that package once my parents get home with the mail key. Now, there's one more acquisition. Wait, no. Hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. No, I'm not. There's one more acquisition I need to tell you about before I tell you about this. Okay, so let me go get it, and I will be right back. Okay, I had to go upstairs to get it, but this is an acquisition that is partly for me and partly for you, if you follow me on Instagram. So, I'm a little winded. I'm not used to going upstairs. In my house in Baton Rouge, we don't have any stairs. Okay, anyway, this is an acquisition partly for you, partly for me. This coming week, towards the end of the week, I'm going to be hosting a giveaway. This is with Thread and Maple. They're a Canadian woman-owned business, and they specialize in bespoke leather goods for all your knitting and notion needs. So Thread and Maple very generously gifted me one of their winter sets. I don't know if you know this, but winter is not over. It's not going to be over for a minute. So it's appropriate that I'm giving away a winter set. And it's appropriate that the winter set is purple. Okay, I flipped it around so you could see the Thread and Maple insignia. And then I had it, good grief. And then I had it bunched up so you couldn't even see it, but there you could. Now, so the winter set includes a few things. I'm not going to go too much into detail now, but there's a zipper pouch. There's a tape measure that looks like a mermaid's purse, which is like a shark egg sack. But mermaid's purse sounds a lot more romantic than a shark egg sack. Just adding the word sack to things. I don't know about that. Anyway, okay, it also includes scissors in a leather sheath, a tapestry needle holder in a leather sheath, and a stitch marker holder. But that's not all. In the winter set, I love that there are 2 zippers, by the way. In the winter set is also a mug and a spice mix for making mulled beverages. So mulled wine, mulled cider. I don't know what else you can mull. Usually I just mull it over. Oh my gosh, I'm insufferable. Yeah, so I have a set for me to keep. How sweet is that? And a set to give away to one of my Instagram followers. So if you don't follow me on Instagram yet, make sure you head over to Instagram and follow me at Rachel's Knitting. And if you do follow me, keep an eye out, probably Friday or Saturday, for a giveaway post announcing the winter set is open for you to enter your name, to put your hat in the ring to win the winter set. And I will ship it out to you with love and care and appreciation. Okay, so now that officially concludes the acquisition section. And now the last thing that I want to talk to you about in this week's podcast is a different giveaway. By now, I should say, this is too late for you to enter. By the time this video goes live, the giveaway will have closed. But I'm currently giving away a Chiagu set, either a full Chiagu bamboo spin set or a full Chiagu red lace tip set, which is my go-to needle set. Chiagu gifted me this bamboo set to host a giveaway with and to try out. And the winner of the giveaway gets to pick between a bamboo set or a red lace tip set. Not these ones exactly. Chiagu will send the winner their set. But I posted the giveaway on Friday and it's just gone nuts. I've been really overwhelmed on Instagram. Like, I got a lot of new followers from it. I'm really grateful for that. A lot of engagement on that post, but it's like, oh my gosh, you guys go nuts for Chiagu. And, you know, I really can't blame you, because for me, these are peak mountaintop knitting materials. Like, they've ruined all other needles for me. I'm a Chiagu person through and through. So I guess I'm kind of sorry that I told you about this here on YouTube, because if you didn't see it on Instagram by now, it's too late to enter. But I guess it's just a hard lesson you have to learn. You got to follow me on Instagram too, so you can get access to all these goodies. Okay, so now let's talk about the goals for the week. And like I said, as the podcasts go on, they'll probably get better. I don't know if this one sucks or not, but the goals for the week. I'm giving myself 3 goals, but I'm not expecting that these are the only things that I do this week. Like, I'm not saying I'm only going to knit these 3 things during the week. I just decided I want to give myself some flexibility. So what I mean by that is these are 3 things that I definitely want to get done, and also whatever else I feel like doing. Like, I'm expecting to do more than these 3 things, but I want to get these 3 things done. So the first is to finish the Lumme yoke. I already mentioned this, I believe, but you know, it was my goal to finish it by Saturday. I didn't meet that goal, so I want to do that this week, get to sleeve separation, take that really pretty yoke shot, and check that item off my list. And then the second goal is obviously to finish my Tearoom lamb. This needs to be done by Wednesday, so that is a priority. And then the last goal is to crank these 2 skeins into socks. So in my last video that I took the opportunity to go over my January goal progress and look ahead to my February goals, I showed you these skeins that Sam sent to be cranked. This is the January Seasons of Change Club skein from Sam of Clockwork Fiber Co. And this is the February Seasons of Change Club skein from Sam of Clockwork Fiber Co. You may formerly know her as Sam of Beachy Breeze Fibers. She's rebranded. She is now Clockwork Fiber Co. So this week I'm going to crank these into socks for her and send them on their way to live with their live with her in their forever home in Connecticut. Yeah, so I think it's going to be a great week. I think it's going to be productive, full of a lot of knitting, like professional knitting, meaning my commission of the lamb, and also and the commission of these socks, and then also, you know, enjoyment knitting. The Lumme technically is professional knitting because it's associated with a brand partnership with Brandy of Long Dog Yarn, but it's actually really pleasure knitting also because I'm really, really liking it. I imagine I will get further on my Seaglass because I just can't stop with it. I'm just so happy with this. It looks so good. It looks so good. I'm just really glad. So yeah, it'll be a good week filled with lots of knitting and fun. I'm not sure what my, you know, filming will be this week. I have so many ideas of videos I want to film. So I will be getting through that list that I've made for myself slowly but surely. So thanks for hanging around. Thanks for supporting me and being patient with me and learning with me and all that good stuff. So that's all I have for this week's podcast. I hope that it was okay. I hope that it was not a train wreck of a podcast. I really don't know. I really don't know what I'm doing. But I'm having fun learning along the way, and I hope you're having fun watching it happen. So that's it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you don't already, and hit that notification bell to be notified of my next upload. Last but not least, head over to Instagram and follow me at Rachel is Knitting if you don't already. All right, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.